Okay, I am on here live. Here we go. When you know and you don't do, then you really don't know. Let me go ahead and break that down. When you know something and you don't do that something, then you really don't know how that something is going to affect you. Does that make sense? All right, I'm going to break it down here for you. And I'm bringing this up because I actually heard a young lady last night, not heard, but I saw a post last night where a young lady was explaining her situation and people were giving her advice. But she was coming back and saying that, she usually goes through it, it's ongoing, and she's just going to keep going the way she is. Even though there was other options and choices for her, she elected to just go ahead and keep the same, right? Not making a choice or a decision. And that got me thinking about this quote that I actually learned 9 years ago. Can't believe it's been 9 years. And when I first heard it, it just, you hear it and it goes out the way. But then when you think about that, so when you know and you don't do something, then you really don't understand how it can affect you in the end. And so there are five different kind of aha moments that I want to share with you tonight, just to give you a different perspective. And maybe you even see yourself in these situations where you can say, you know what, I really didn't look at it that way, because there are a lot of options and choices out there for us. But if we decide to stay right where we are, then that's exactly we're going to be stuck at that particular moment. You're not going to be able to move forward and see what's available for you and what is possible for you on the other side. All right. So if you're tuning in and meeting me for the first time, my name is Danya. I like to go by doing the most with Danya. And I love, like I said, sharing information, having people have an aha moment, look at things in a different perspective so that you can live your own lifestyle freedom. And in particular, I like talking about our overall health, our wellness, our wealth building, and family legacy. And whatever that means for you, hopefully, that my aha moments are going to trigger you into taking massive action. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the first thing that I thought about. And one is, we get this mental clutter that's in our head where we think that, it just happens, that's just the way it is, whether it's financial or health wise, we don't take any action. And when that happens, we just get this big mental block, right? We have what did I put down there? We just have this big mental block. Don't have this action. We can't move forward. It's just baggage. And in the end, we're just not empowered. We don't feel empowered to be able to move forward or to move on. Okay. So it's just that stuck mode. I think that's probably where this young lady was at, was just like not feeling empowered to look beyond her current situation. Okay. How about the second thing? When you don't do anything, you've still made a decision. Wouldn't you agree? You've decided not to do anything, whether that's what you wanted to do or not. In the end, that's exactly what happens. And what it is because we're comfortable there, or we're just lazy, and we just don't want to deal with or actually move or take a different position on it because it would have us actually doing the work. Okay. Would you agree with that? So inaction is still a decision. Whether you say yes or no, and it's okay if you say no, then you've made a decision and then you can just move forward. But if you are teetering, and you have your leg on either side of the fence or the straddle, you've still made a decision and that decision is no. So you're going to stay exactly where you are. How about your overall body, your mind, and your spirit? Whatever it is that you decide, you're going to pay the price for it. So let's say if you know that you should be exercising more, matter of fact, maybe it's just 30 minutes a day. Can you just take 30 minutes a day to be able to exercise or do something? Maybe there's spot exercises that you need to do that you were given. Um, what about finances? What if you know that you should be putting X amount of dollars away for whatever, for taxes, or for vacation or for home improvements or just in savings in general, if you should be putting that away, or if you are not making decision about, I said body, mind, and spirit, but if you're not making a decision about what you should be doing mentally to prepare yourself, then here's the thing. In the end, you're going to pay the price. And like my mom used to say, you're going to have to suffer the consequences of whatever decision it is that you do make. So overall, by body, mind, and spirit, you're going to feel that. And you're going to have to, like I said, suffer the consequences, or like my mom would say, suffer the consequences. And then how about this? You can't fake mastery. Mastery is when you've actually gone through a particular job or emotion or idea, not idea, but a particular event or something that you personally have mastered or have done. You can't fake that. You need to be able to reflect on it in order for you to be able to move forward on it. And if you just keep saying it or like, yeah, I know, I know, I know, right? Have you heard that? Yeah, I know, I know, I know. Well, no, you don't know because all you're doing is you are just getting the information, right, without the transformation of it. Okay. So are you one that says, yeah, 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 I know, I know, I know? Well, if you did know, then you would know that it's going to take work. It's going to take you mastering that particular thing, whatever it is that you're supposed to do to get over that hump in order for you to transform. Right. And then the fifth thing here, just be truthful and honest with yourself so that you can take action, be able to move. All right. So you have to be able to think differently. You have to be able to move differently. You have to be able to live differently in whatever decision that you make. So when you know something, but you don't do something about it, then you're really not understanding or knowing how it's affecting you in the end. And if you did, I think that we would probably do more for ourselves to be more, live more, and have more. And why not just feel overall better about everything? Like I said, that mind, body, and spirit, that all really, I think, encompasses the way that we show up for ourselves as well. Wouldn't you agree? Okay. So think about this. In order for people to succeed, they have to do something different that they haven't done before. And when you know that you have the information and you know that you should be doing it, go ahead and get her done. Okay? Don't be feel like the woe is me because you have the information. You all you have to do is execute to be able to get it done. All right? So that's my quick 5 points for you. Hopefully that triggered something, a good trigger to put you into that massive action. All right? Do me a favor. If this wasn't for you, I appreciate you joining in, but do me a favor. Go ahead and share this out with other people because you never know how it's going to help them on their personal journey. And I may have said something to just give them that little edge, that slight edge. Love that by Jeff Olson. That's a book. It's a great book for reading. That slight edge that just move above to be able to do something different. Okay. All right. And then the other thing that I am going to ask, because I'm new here to this platform, is go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I found out that I need X amount of subscriptions in order to go live on my phone. And I love doing lives out and about. So bringing you aha moments, having you look at things in a different perspective with your overall lifestyle freedom, however you choose that for yourself. Like I said, I talk about our overall health, wellness, wealth building, and family legacy. And when we talk about our four currencies that we have in our life, it's our income, it is our health, it is our time, and then most of all, it is the knowledge. And hopefully, you've gained some knowledge here just thinking about what it is that you can do. So, no longer, if you don't know something that can benefit you, then you really don't know how it's going to affect you in the end. But I've just given you 5 points to turn that whole thing around and just make a big, big difference. Okay. So be truthful and go ahead and take action with yourself. Thanks for tuning in. You're doing the most with Danya, and I look forward to connecting with you again. Take care. Bye bye.